Hello everyone, my name is Loco, and welcome to some viewer-submitted games of StarCraft 2. We're starting off with a Terran versus Zerg, played on the map White Rabbit, between two Gold League legends. Spotting right here in the bottom left, playing in red. For some reason, not going for a wall-off even remotely close to the ramp, we have none other than Kijkwijzer. Okay. It's definitely not Pokemon, it's definitely not a Pikachu, right? It's very different. All the way in the opposite corner, playing in blue, we're looking inside of the main base of blah blah blah. Excellent usernames, 10 out of 10, no notes. We're gonna go for a 15 hatch here from the Zerg. That is very normal. After the supply depot is done, we just throw down the barracks willy-nilly. Not really the end of the world, it's just that, generally speaking, if Zergs decide to get a little bit aggressive in the earlier stages of the game, you can just get overwhelmed very, very quickly. Blah blah blah, though, has been cheesed one too many times by Terran players already. He does not trust the SCV that is idling right outside of his natural. It's actually on hold position, it seems, but it is going to be moving away now, and everything is reasonably okay. Now, if you have recently played an amazing game of StarCraft 2 yourself, you can send it over to replays at LowkoTV. Just attach the .sc2 replay file to the email, and maybe I'll make fun/cast your game here in the future. I will say that usually these games, they do start off reasonably promisingly, and then it tends to devolve over time. I mean, this is just the first game that I'm having a look at. I believe I have like 3 different replays selected for today. I do not promise that I'm gonna be as nice during the third game, because usually I can only handle so much. What is this, man? Already, we have a marine opener, and then we do fly it to the ramp with a very quick tech lab. I mean, quick-ish. Normal timing for all of these things to be done is already like a half minute ago, so already things have been delayed tremendously. If you want to go for any sort of factory follow-up or anything along those lines, we're already in trouble. I'm not exactly sure what to expect from this particular Terran build, but that is because we are building a Ghost Academy. Right, your normal 220 Ghost Academy in the back of the main base. A Ghost Rush. Jimmy, you don't have to do this. Jimmy, you could just go home, brother. Okay, Jimmy is gonna be sent out for a scout. The problem here for our Terran is that he already knows that there is a hatchery first on the low ground, so the odds of there being a queen or a bunch of Zerglings are basically 100%. Jimmy, okay. Oh, no, Jimmy. Dang. He saw the light for just a moment. Turns out it was the light at the end of the tunnel. Poor guy. And ultimately, it will end up dying. Now, in the meantime, on the other side of the map, we do have the first ghost coming up. And I say first, mostly because I assume you're gonna make multiples when you also start up the ghost personal cloaking. There's a secondary Ghost Academy right next to it, so I'm guessing the plan, as we have a bunch of idle SCVs over here in the bottom right, I'm guessing the plan is to start mass nuking the Zerg? At least he now knows that there's 4 Zerglings out than a queen. Oh, wait, where did we scan? He just scanned somewhere. Oh, he scanned the natural. Did he just want to see whether or not there's still 4 Zerglings and a queen? Turns out there's 6 Zerglings and a queen right now. In the meantime, though, on the side of the Zerg player, we've got ourselves a lair coming up. Baneling Nest at a reasonable time. We have some blind spore crawlers a little early. Usually these blind spores should go down about 4:30 or so against Terran. This is more of a timing against oracles, but it's not the end of the world. Tactical nuke indeed is now added into the mix. So one of these Ghost Academies is going nuke. The other one is going personal cloaking and then into a nuke. All right, fair enough. Problem here for the Zerg is that it's pretty much impossible for him to scout. There is a single ghost here with a ton of energy. I'm not exactly sure why it was sent out so early, but it is now going to be able to get the cloak done, and remarkably enough, the nuke is going to finish up pretty much perfectly. Look at that. This is a nuke timing attack. A nuke personal cloaking timing attack with the ghost waiting, although now we are being delayed a bunch. Go! Go! There we are. There we are. Yep, cloak him. Cloak him. There you go. And then where do we nuke? Problem here for the Zerg is that it's really easy to find the red dot, because there's only like really 2 viable locations. Either it's going to be here or it's going to be there. There are spore crawlers set up too. Okay, there we go. Tactical nuke is going to be flying across the map. Come on, do you notice the red dot? There's one very obvious red dot. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Come on. Okay, he pulls the boys. Actually, he didn't see the red dot. He just pulled every single drone. He even pulled the ones that just popped out of the hatchery there, or out of the cocoons, for the natural expansion. It looks like there will be an overseer as well, and I think he spotted, or maybe he just attacked something there with an auto attack. He didn't notice right now, though, that indeed the ghost is hiding in the corner of the main. And while maybe it's going to be able to slither away, that was not quite... Oh, really? Really? That was not quite the damage you were hoping for. Nah. Anyways, we found out the reason why there were 2 SCVs in the far bottom right, as we now have a command center proxy coming up right over there in that spot. He's just about to hit a supply block. No problem, though, because this is basically a very large supply depot. So Pikachu is going to be able to continue mining. After the ghost situation, we have now swapped on over towards a bunch of widow mines. My main concern, though, for Pikachu is that, yeah, he's got a nice creative start, but he doesn't really have a whole lot going for him. Right now, we're basically crossing our fingers and crossing our toes, and we're hoping that Zerg is going to accidentally wander into the widow mines, which is definitely a viable strategy in Gold League, but you are definitely relying on your opponent being bad. Oh, okay. We've gone for an extra starport right now, too. Did we just go double Ghost Academy, by the way, for just 2 nukes? That's it? Like, we made 1 ghost, 2 nukes, and 2 Ghost Academies? We don't even get the scream in this particular game. Blah, 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 by the way. Nice little scout once more. Pretty good crisis management, by the way, from the Zerg here. It has to be said. Can't really complain all too much. The Spire, okay. I don't hate it, although I do think Mutiling Bane is a unit composition that is probably a Grandmaster only type of style. Not that it's not something you can mess around with, but really, we're going double Battlecruiser now? So we go from double Ghost Academy into double Starport and then into double Battlecruiser. That's the plan. Brother, you're not going to be able to afford anything. Like, we cannot afford a single BC. A battlecruiser is 400 minerals, 300 gas, and you just fired up a 3rd command center. Okay. I'm not exactly sure. Never in my life thought I'd get nuked before the 5-minute mark. Wait, are we now gonna talk to the opponent? Blah, blah, blah. Still feeling the rush. Pokechudo doesn't really seem to care very much. He's gonna try and send these Jimmies out as well on the same fate as the very first Marine that was available in this game. We go Spire here, we go Hydra then, and we've got an Infestation Pit. First Battlecruiser does fire up here eventually. I mean, it's still 8 minutes. This is by no means a very fast Battlecruiser, but it's far from the slowest one. Looks like the Jimmies have found a target. Zerglings, Roaches, Banelings were ready to engage on the other side of the map. Blah, 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 by the way, seems to be making use of this magical thing called hotkeys. It's a beautiful thing, really. It allows you to leave units at home for defense while simultaneously being ready to push. Base over here, though, at the bottom has not been spotted yet. But Pokechu also is not really mining a whole lot here, so it doesn't really matter all too much. It can result in a little bit of a mystery, though, later on. Overseer is gonna get busted by these Widow Mines, it seems, but there is a secondary one, and as long as we have vision, these should be reasonably easy to snipe. First Battlecruiser just about to spawn. Did blah, blah, blah notice? Ooh. Nice little bit of scouting here by blah, blah, blah. This may be the highest level Gold League game from the Zerg I've ever seen. Nicely done. I mean, the macro is spotty. There's obvious room for improvement, but all of the parts are certainly there. Yeah, we're even using hotkeys. The min-maxing of the amount of resources is nice. We got some rapid fire going on as well by the Zerg player. He's gonna go for the most beautiful unit composition of them all. One that I popularized back in 2016 when nobody played it and everybody made fun of me. We're gonna go Hydra Corruptor. There's a video on the internet of pro gamers laughing at me for going Hydra Corruptor. I will not be bringing that up anymore down the line, but these days it is actually quite normal. Back then it wasn't. Since then, though, they nerfed the amount of anti-air that Zerg has available significantly. So I guess you could say that I was just way ahead of the meta. Either way, Hydra Corruptor is going to be used. There's a single battlecruiser out now, but like, what do we do with a single BC? I don't think this is a unit composition here for the Terran that's going to be able to really hold all of this. Zerg is not just going to let the Terran player macro, and while he hasn't seen the base down south, he has seen all of the important stuff. And I really like that blah 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 is just gonna go ahead and test the waters here. It's a difficult game to read right now for the Zerg player. If you were to be too idle, there's a good chance that suddenly you're facing off against 10 BCs. And 10 battlecruisers really do need to be respected, but I think this is very counterable so far. A lot of Zerg players get terrified when they see like 3 Widow Mines. Admittedly, I think pretty much every StarCraft player out there has run their entire army into 3 Widow Mines and then proceeded to lose the game. So I kind of get it, but those Widow Mines were meant to buy time for the BCs. Yep, we're going to try and add on some additional Banelings here, and I think the plan is to bust open the main ramp. Let's see what we can do. We should really move, though. We should not really allow the Terran too much more wiggle room. We can really just kill that. There's no siege tank or anything along those lines. But I guess he brought Banelings to bust open the door, and we're going to be using Banelings to bust open the door if we have a chance. Okay, blah, blah, blah is playing a little bit cautiously. One of the reasons, I think, is that he's busy trying to macro. Got a whole lot of mineral income, but not nearly as much Vespian gas. Forgetting to saturate the gas geysers over at the 3rd and the 4th. We should go! We have 1,800 minerals, I get it, but we should really just go. We've got a load of Overseers here. No reason to give the Terran too much wiggle room, and there we have it. I think this is a lovely game right here by blah, blah, blah. A bit of an oddball of a strategy from the Terran player, I will say. I am half disappointed that we, like, I'm half disappointed and half surprised that we did not see an entire mineral line die. But blah, blah, blah there found the solution. He decided to just literally pull every single drone from both of the bases that he had against the nuke. And at that point, it was easy. Wanna play 2v2? Aw. That's kind of cute. Look at that. We can... Okay, never mind. I mean, it's polite enough. Are we gonna GG? Oh! He's pulling the classic trick. He typed, has left the game, exclamation mark, and then hit enter. This is a classic. If you really don't believe that you can still win the game, this could be a final resort. You could just be a jerk and pretend that you have left. Alrighty, next up, another Gold League match. We're in the upper left-hand corner. Before doing anything, we get a GLHF from our Protoss who goes by the name of Momac. Always important to prioritize your GLHF before you start up any form of production. Down in the bottom right, we're looking inside of the domain of Mugler Prickin. Prickin. This could be one of the map names of the TLMC, I suppose. Oh my lord, what is... What is this? Huh? Alright. So we decided to build a hatchery right here. I do not know why. In the meantime, on the other side of the map, we're not gonna go for a low ground expand or anything along those lines. Instead, we're going gateway into forge. This is already a banger. I can already tell that this is going to be a very beautiful game of StarCraft. Beautiful in the sense that it's an acquired taste, but beautiful to say the least. I think that this is going to be one of those games that, you know, you go to a museum and you see an art piece on the wall and you just don't get that that particular thing happens to be worth potentially millions of dollars. I think it's going to be that type of game. What? Like, it's literally just a blank canvas. He used duct tape to put a banana on the wall. Why is it worth $100 million? It doesn't make any sense. Is it money law? I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's mineral laundering. I don't know what's happening here, but it's a bit of a disaster. So wait, did he just do an extractor trick, but then proceeded not to do an Are we gonna commit to a cannon rush despite the fact that there's nothing to cannon rush? What is happening here? We just did a mass extractor trick. He canceled all 4 extractors, but he's still sitting at 20 supply. And despite the fact that we wanted to open up with a cannon rush, then didn't have an option to go for a cannon rush because there's nothing to kill, we're still gonna double down on the cannon rush. Yeah, build the photon cannons. We're a man with a plan. We gotta double down. Always double down on your mistakes, guys. If there's one takeaway from today's cast, make sure to always double down on your mistakes. At least people wouldn't call you out for being an uncommitted person, you know? Many people give up early. I think we should go after the photon cannon. This seems a little dicey to me, but it's fine. You know what? This was actually kind of brilliant now from the Protoss, right? Because the Protoss forced out 6 Zerglings. And he did get... Well, I mean, he lost the pylon, I suppose. So maybe it's not quite ideal. But what in the world is gonna... Well, I guess... I wouldn't have hated this as much. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. I wouldn't have hated this as much if he actually did go for a low ground expo. Or expo, rather. But... no. No. No, no. Alright, rather than taking the natural, though, I mean, he, I guess in the strictest sense of the word, did take the natural, but he's just building a wall. We now have a proxy hatchery in the far upper right. Gas is taken yet again inside of the main base, but this time around, no cancel. Roach Warren in the meantime, too. Where is this now going to lead? Ah, Void Race. Of course. What a stupid question. Well, maybe not. No, it has to be Void Race. Void Race and Charge, probably. Void Ray, Charge, Prism, whatever else we can make. So Momek has decided to just build a little bit of everything. The only thing he didn't really get to is an actual expansion, so he's on the clock. Like, it's weird. It seems like you're rather rich right now as the Protoss, but in about 5 minutes, the main is gonna run low. We need to move out onto the map fast, because otherwise we just run out of cash. This is one of the... Okay. Yeah, just build everything, I guess. This is one of the problems you run into in StarCraft 2 in the modern day and age. In 2010, you could sit on one base for like 20 minutes. That's no longer the case. You need to go out there. Turtling has been reduced in a sense. You need to move out onto the map. What is happening, though? Why are there drones all over the map? We have a bunch of Zerglings over here. Why are we moving these drones? Why did we never take the natural? Okay. Is this how little baby drones get made? Drones do it from behind. Okay, I don't know. What is... Ugh. Ugh. It's like a walled city. What is happening? Why is this here? Why is this here? Why are any of us here? Where are we all going? What is the purpose of any of this? See, this is why art is art, guys. It makes you ask the existential questions. And maybe we'll go on a little bit of, a personal journey here as we explore whatever the abomination is that we are currently witnessing. Are we here just to suffer? Is this just here for our entertainment? Proxy pylon in the meantime, too. What? Sorry, I need to go back. What is... Did he notice the Oracle? So wait. I think he sees an Oracle fly by the Overlord. And what does he do? He makes a Spore Crawler in the edge. And then he hides all of the drones in the natural expansion about 10 seconds later? I mean, that's a strategy I've never really seen before. This is like pulling all of your drones against one tactical nuke when you're on 2 bases. It's technically a solution in the strictest sense of the word. But I mean, Protoss is AFK anyways. Oh. You know what always fascinates me about this sort of thing? There's a real chance that our Zerg player has never seen a high-level game of StarCraft before. You know, this is like the Galapagos, I don't know how you pronounce it, Galapagos Islands? The ones where, anyways, this is a Zerg player operating Oh, God. Galapagos? I don't know what the island range is called. This is a Zerg player operating within the same boundaries of the rest of the game. He's got all of the same rules that apply to every other Zerg, but he has come up with an entirely new playstyle. And I think I hate it, but there is also something fascinating about it. And clearly, I mean, he's hyper-specialized, just like the birds on the islands, to take down Gold League Protoss players. Then again, though, Momax should have a solution, and this solution is called Skytals. I think you literally just build a bunch of Skytals units. Skytals with charge. Yeah, warp in a bunch of zealots. Aim for the best. By the way, he's making a lair over here. What in the world is going on? Why are there 2 Evo chambers? Observer going out onto the map right now for Momac. I can't blame him. There's no denying that this is a very confusing game. I'm gonna give it about an 80% probability that the Observer is going to accidentally fly into this Spore Crawler, even though he's already seen it. He's warping in a few Zealots. Now, 4 Zealots is gonna do absolutely nothing against those Spines. Oh, he is checking, though. He sees right now that the Evo chambers aren't actually researching. In the meantime, Protoss is going for a proxy base as well in the far bottom left, whereas Zerg is now fully mining the expansion in the upper right. We have another random hatch. What is going on here? What is the purpose of these hatcheries? Yeah, so 3 additional Stargates inside of the main base of Momac. Not that he's really using any of his existing production structures. I think you generally want to be using those first before you commit to any additional production. But anyways, I do agree that, like, just going... Like, this is the get out of jail for free card in Gold League as a Protoss, genuinely. Nobody really, at this level, is going to be able to counter maxed out Skytals. It's very counterable, but I don't think in Gold League. Like, I just don't see it happening. If you max out on Mass Void Ray, Mass Carrier, that alone will already do enough. If you want to get fancy, you can add some Archons and Zealots and maybe some High Templar if you want to use a Spellcaster in the mix. But I think that is a unit composition that is nigh unbeatable for any Zerg player in Gold. And that is where this game is headed right now. So I don't really know what... but maybe the Zerg has a creative solution. He is now using the Evo chambers and he's protecting them as well with Spines. We have the Blinky Boy upgrade coming up as well. I don't think we need Stalkers. I guess he's a little bit concerned for a potential Muta play or something along those lines. There's a Void Ray started up. We have some Roaches in the meantime too. The Roaches are actually building over here on this hatch and then a few more in another location. The drones over here in the bottom left will now spot that there are a bunch of probes going back and forth. Zerg, by the way, is purely... Oh my god. What is happening? Ugh. Zerg is getting all of their larva generation purely off of hatcheries. We have a couple of queens here, but I don't think they've been injecting. Like, the larva is just being passively generated by the hatches. He has now spotted those random-ass zealots that were here a while ago. And if we are paying attention, we should just go to the bottom left and kill that Nexus there fast. We just don't know if he has spec'd into it. Patrol move command? Yo, evolution is real. In case you were still a doubter, I think that this game proves to us in a microcosmos that evolution is a very real thing. He just patrol commanded in that direction. This man is hyper specialized against Gold League Protoss. What is, like, how many Evos do we need? He's building a wall. I think this is a Zerg player who's very, like, he just rapid fired. Did you see that? I don't think those were individual clicks on the corrosive biles. I think that this player may be very familiar with the rules of StarCraft 1, but that he hasn't really played a lot of StarCraft 2 or something. It's a very funky way to play. This is how it's commonly done in StarCraft Brood War. I mean, not necessarily like this, but it would make a lot more sense like that. Okay, Nexus does go down. In the meantime, there is another base out here. We're now up to 4 hatcheries, 1 lair, and 8 evolution chambers. He's gonna go Roach Hydra, which is a very common style. He did build a random spire over here as well, in a location that normally alone is already noteworthy. In the meantime, what is Protoss up to? Protoss is making Void Rays, of course. Of course. We have a second Cybercore, +1 air weapons coming up, double Immortal production. Protoss has got 3 bases worth of mining. I'm guessing the plan is to just max out with, yeah, Skytoss, double upgrades, and the whole shebang. He'll be good until like minute 20. At minute 20, he will venture out onto the map. Zerg hasn't really put a lot of pressure on, but at like minute 20, we should see quite a lot of movement. I think up until that point, though, look at this. We have 4 hatcheries coming up. And even though the minerals over here in the bottom left-hand corner smell of probe, they smell of Protoss, he's still going to build a hatchery over here, too. Lurker Den on the back of this? I think this is a Brood War player, man. It's got to be a Brood War player. A Brood War player trying out StarCraft 2 for, like, the first time. I would love to see his hotkey setup. I bet you it's super bad. I bet you the hotkey profile that he's running here is the most cursed thing you've ever seen. One thing that StarCraft 1 players still do, even though you can manually change your hotkeys in 2026, one thing most StarCraft Brood War players still do is make probes with hotkey P. Look at him, he's patrol attacking. Rather than attack moving, he's attacking with patrol commands. How weird. Anyways, for Protoss in StarCraft 1, they used to always hotkey their first Nexus to the hotkey 0, because the hotkey for probe was P, which is an absolutely atrocious hotkey, and many people still run with it just because of muscle memory. In StarCraft 2, the default hotkey is E, which makes way more sense, but Blizzard, when they made StarCraft 1, were like, well, the word probe starts with a P, so the hotkey for probe is P, right? Like, they didn't really think about it very much. So, I bet you, like, there's a lot of instances like that in StarCraft 1. I bet you it's the same right here for the Zerg. He's got something cursed going on. He definitely... Oh, he has a control group right here for all of the hatcheries, it seems. At least the ones in the main base. Look, the ones that... Oh, now he's selecting all of them. He just made a hotkey for all of the hatcheries out on the map, I think. He did not manually have those. He's making more layers. Ha! He's going 2 more layers with a hive. I'm a bit afraid here that the weird creativity of our Zerg is not gonna get rewarded. Like, I'm a bit afraid that I am hyping this man up for the last 14 minutes, but that what we're going to see is Protoss just going full bulldozer straight through the Zerg bases. Like, we're arriving at maxed out Skytoss territory. And I secretly hope that there is some sort of answer that Prykin has. But I don't think he's got anything. I am fairly sure that what we are witnessing here is a Zerg with the slowest death animation we've ever seen. I think it's best if you're a Zerg player to look away when Protoss goes across the map, okay? This is gonna be like one of those documentaries that people watch on the internet that makes folks go vegan, you know? Once you've seen it, you can never play Zerg again. You're gonna be ruined. Okay, mass amount of banelings going in. No reaction from Protoss, as is to be expected. My lord. He just killed... He just killed everything. Alright. Well, maybe Momek right now... Oh, he's seeing blood. He's seething. This is bad. He's prompting to go early now. The Skytoss units have been spotted. Random-ass gas geysers out on the map. Nobody knows why. But Zerg is deciding now to go into Hydralisks. Okay. Momek has he's no longer seeing red. He's okay. He's okay. He's backing up, though. He's a little angry. Did you know that Speed Void Rays apparently have the same movement speed as Speed Zealots? Not a situation we see all too often, but apparently it is nearly the same. He's gonna find out about this base in the upper right that's been running for the entirety of the game. Drones are gonna be evacuating it out of here. We have a spire! Another spire in the upper right. In the meantime, now Zerg is going in around the site here too. The carriers, the Tempest, the Void Rays, all of it is disjointed, but... And this is the real big but. This is Skytos. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. Time to assemble the boys. Time to bulldoze, I think. We have 9 corruptors being made. Do you think these queens have ever been used for injects? There's like creep tumors being set up. But he's setting up the creep tumors like they're creep colonies. He did spread one of them around, but not very far. Fascinating. He was making a spire, a hydra den, and an infestation pit in the upper right. Maybe he assumed that the bulldozer army would go straight across the map and that he wouldn't get spotted in the upper right-hand corner first. So he was already making a backup plan. What he really needs, though, is an army. Like, I think this guy may be a Brood War player, but like a pretty bad Brood War player. Like, he's played a lot, but you know that meme that goes somewhere along the lines of, so you played this game for like a decade, right? Yes. So that means you must be really good at the game, right? I've got a feeling that that is what we're seeing here from our Zerg player. That he's played a lot of StarCraft 1, but that he is not particularly great at it. Because the fundamentals are all wrong, you know? Like the amount of resource mining we get here, the ratio of minerals to gas, all of it is very... Yeah, I'm just gonna call it bad. It's just, it doesn't really make sense. So some of the positioning here, some of the base building is very interesting. And obviously that's more important in StarCraft 1 than it is in StarCraft 2, but it's still very, let's call it suboptimal. This is the most polite way of pointing it out. It's interesting. Momac, I think what we gotta do is rip off the Band-Aid. Momac has no idea, by the way, about what's been going on in this game. Like, he saw this cursed wall off, he saw the Evo chambers and the weird proxy hatch. But I think what he can do is just go an A move. I'm gonna go ahead and speed it up a little bit, because I think that this game is gonna be the most anticlimactic one that I have covered in a while. Alright, here we go. Back to normal speed we go. Do we make the beam thick? Yeah, we do it after the fight is pretty much over. You know what this also means? More than likely, our Protoss hero here is the one that submitted this game. He found this in the wilderness. He found this in the wilds of the StarCraft 2 ladder. It's kind of gross. It's fascinating, but it's also sort of disgusting. Make it stop. Make it stop. Make it stop. Rip off the Band-Aid. GG. One more? One more. Our final Gold League match of the day. Another Protoss versus Zerg. We're in the upper right-hand corner of White Rabbit. We have none other than the Fat Man. Interestingly enough, capitalizing the T and the F, but not the M. Alright. Down in the bottom left. Not capitalizing anything. We have SpongeBob. Real SpongeBob? Do you think this is the... Is this the guy that lives in a pineapple under the sea? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. This is a horrible pylon positioning. Like, the pylon needed to be over here, first and foremost. But this, if we are gonna wall the main... Like, this is horrible. It's terrible. I hate everything about this. I know the game hasn't even started yet, but this pylon is terrible. Worst pylon I've ever seen. Like, you're blocking your own positioning here. You can't even put gateways properly around it. Okay. Doesn't matter. We're going for pylon into pylon. Normal build order. Pylon into pylon is very normal, yes. Okay. Okay, yeah, sure. Do another one. Yeah, sure. Oh no, are we trying to do the windmill? We messed up. We messed up already. The windmill is when you plant down 4 gateways surrounding it. Yeah, no, we've messed up, man. No windmill available. We could make a windmill with like 5 gateways, maybe. We went pylon into gateway, 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 into pylon. It's a beautiful thing. Into gateway. All right. In the meantime, Zerg has gone hatch into a gas into a spawning pool. There is an overlord going across the map. Secondary overlord. Oh no! Secondary overlord is not gonna see. Well, he's gonna see zealots running on over in this direction. That's nice, I suppose. We're actually over-making probe. I don't really... Why are we making this many probes? This is an all-in, fat man. We're not going to be able to... I'm not insulting him, by the way. Hello. We're over-making probes for this particular push. Oh, hey. Look at SpongeBob here. He's having a communication right now with a bunch of zealots. A bunch of dudes that have swords for arms. Now I'm scared of calling out the Protoss player's name, man. I mean, it's literally his name, but... Alright, this is not ideal, though. Yeah, we have a couple spines coming up. You may have to give up on the low ground here, Sponge. That man is just gonna... Yeah, I think you pass by this. Oh, no, move command here on the Zerglings. Not ideal at all. One of the zealots does get trapped here. Fair enough. It ends up going down. For some reason, the other zealots are not helping out their brother in arms. In this case, literal arms. Another zealot, or another spine rotter will be made. For some reason, we've stopped making zealots. Why are we not making zealots? Dude, this is like the easiest build order ever. Like, you don't even have to... Oh, now we start up zealots again? My god, there was like a... I don't know how long the delay was, but the delay hurt me. Oh... Don't tell me you're gonna lose this game, Mr. Fatman, because you didn't queue up the 1 unit you're building. There's supposed to be 4 more zealots out already. Like, you're not supposed to have minerals for more than just this. And we... Oh, no. Yeah, no, we can sort out our problem with a band-aid gateway, where we just, like, plant down another gateway just because we messed up. Ay, ay, ay. What do you think Mr. Fatman here is doing? Or sorry, Mr. The Fatman is doing whilst he's playing this game? Because this is a build you can do one-handedly. Easy. Easy. Don't even have to try. I could teach my mom this Protoss all in about an afternoon. She'd be Gold League too. No way it's working. No! No! Don't tell me it's the Fat Man who... Wait. Whoa. The Zerglings just killed everything. We're not bothering to recall anything either here. We could have recalled like 1 zealot and it would have been enough. Wait a second. SpongeBob just lost literally all of the drones. But he does have a lot of Zerglings out. I think you gotta send the lings across the map yet again. Queen, in the meantime, going in. Transfuse the Zergling. Alright. Here goes SpongeBob. Triple photon cannon coming up. Sorry about this, Otto. Wait. What? Whoa, what? Oh no, the Fat Man messed up. He just left. But this is not a winnable game for the Zerg. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe delivery rang the doorbell or something. I don't know what's going on. This is not a winnable game for Zerg in any way. This is a draw. But he just left, so it's not. Problem here for the Zerg player is that he does not have a single drone available anymore. And he doesn't have the minerals to make one either. There's no way for him to obtain any more minerals in any way. What he can do is kill the opponent's base here, the Zerg that is, with all of this mining. Meaning that the win condition of StarCraft 2 will still be to kill all of the opponent's structures. And I do not see how 12 Zerglings and a Queen are going to be able to kill 3 photon cannons. They're not going to be able to kill the pylon before they, will get killed either. So I think this game is actually a draw. Maybe there's some weird interaction, and obviously this is Gold League, so there could be some weird interaction here that would result in a victory for one of the 2 players. And, well, apparently in this particular instant, the interaction is indeed that the Protoss decides to leave when he really doesn't need to. This is apparently our Zerg player returning to the replay just to continue competing for a little bit longer. So SpongeBob wins. And I guess it's safe to say that SpongeBob always wins. GG.